Okay, so it looks like Shavkat Rakhmonov is injured again. He's re-injured his knee. It looks like he's going to be out for another 10 months. That's the initial reports. He's going to be out for 10 months. And it's a shame. It's kind of crazy because he's been out of the octagon for a very long time now. His last fight was end of 2024, right? December 7th, 2024. It's, been the whole of 2025 he's not fought. And he's basically going to be out for damn near another year, right? At that point, you've got to be considering, if you're getting injured this much, maybe you need to retire. Maybe your body physically is just breaking down at this point, and it happens. This is a point that all fighters get to. Some obviously much sooner than others. Shavkat's got there particularly quickly, but Shavkat's an absolute phenom, right? And I think because he's been out of the octagon for so long, what people really are forgetting, he's becoming a people forget man fighter, right? Because he's worked his way up to the top of middleweight. He's coming off four great wins. So he stopped Neil Magny, stopped Jeff Neal, and stopped Wonderboy Thompson, right? Stopping all of them, and then beat quite comfortably Ian Gary. Like, comfortably beat Ian Gary. Sure, he didn't stop Ian Gary. Sure, he was never really close to stopping Ian Gary either, but he comfortably beat him for 5 rounds, right? And Shavkat worked his way to a spot of number 1 contender, and now he's been unable to fight. He's been injured. Which is a shame because he was right there. He had that fight with Bilal booked. Then, the fight couldn't happen. And the welterweight division has sort of moved on a bit. Like, at that time, you was looking at the welterweight division like, well, Shavkat's the only real contender. But since then, how many guys have we got at the top of the division now? Sean Brady, Bilal, Shavkat, of course, Ian Gary, Kamaru Usman, all these guys, they're back in the mix. JDM's champion now. Islam's fighting for the title next. If he wins, then, Islam's in the division, right? So, it's a very different division from when he last fought. But we don't know how Shavkat matches up with those guys stylistically. Like, Shavkat causes a lot of these guys problems because he's so good everywhere. He's so well-rounded. And, he's beating a lot of these guys up on the feet, then just submitting them, right? I think people are maybe seeing the submissions and are like, oh, well, he's just a Dagestani wrestler because they see his name or the way he looks. That's not the case at all. And Shavkat's got quite a well-rounded game, and there's a reason why he's at the top in the welterweight division, no doubt. There's a reason why he's at the top, right? Because he's a serious threat and stylistically causes a lot of these guys problems. But if he can't stay healthy, if he can't get through a camp, then he's not going to be able to fight, and we're never going to know. And will Shavkat end up becoming one of these what-ifs? Hopefully not. But the way you're carrying on, you've been out for 10 months. You're going to be out for another 10 months. So you would have been out of the octagon for likely 2 years at that point. How do you come back from that? What do you look like when you come back? Because when you're fighting guys like Carlos Prates, even Ian Gary now, who's got more experience and has gotten even better, Sean Brady's, your Bilal's, these guys have been active. Not Sean Brady as much, because he's only fought once this year. Even Bilal. These guys, and that's the thing with MMA, these guys really don't fight that often, right? So you can almost be off 2 years in MMA and it's like, well, the guy you're facing has only fought maybe twice in a year anyway, so he's going to be fresher, he's going to be fitter, but it's not going to be by a crazy amount, right? So the welterweight division is an interesting spot. Shavkat's an interesting spot. But how do you think he styles up with a lot of these guys if he was to come back? How does he style up against a Kamaru Usman? How does he style up against a Bilal, a Sean Brady, a JDM? These are all really interesting fights, and hopefully we get to see them, because it'd be such a shame that if we didn't, it would feel like such a wasted opportunity, such a what-if moment. Like, I was talking to Evan privately, and he said this could be like one of the biggest what-ifs since Zabit. Now, Zabit was different levels. Zabit was just pure alien, crazy hybrid. Like, you don't even, you know what I mean? You don't even want to know about Zabit, right? If you were there, you were there. Those of you who know, you know. It was a vibe, you had to be there, right? Shavkat's knows Zabit, but my point still stands, right? A big what if. And yeah, I'd be curious to know what you guys think of this in the comments below. And yeah, another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.